All right, looks like we have some big updates when it comes to Xenosaga on the Nintendo Switch and potentially Nintendo Switch 2 implications if something that Bandai Namco is saying here follows through, and if they've changed their mind on numerous times that I've reported on Bandai Namco and Xenosaga for the future. So it seems like something is happening there. We're also going to be talking about a potential Chrono Trigger remake speculation and stuff happening there, so that's going to be exciting as well. We're also going to discuss just a little bit my big birthday stream that's going down this Saturday. That's the 18th. We're going to talk about that, and of course more Nintendo Switch 2 news. But before we continue on, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2. All you have to do to enter is hit that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed, and drop a comment below. We are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 once we hit 150,000 subscribers, and it will be random. So the more that you actually comment and interact, the better chance that you have to win. Hit that like button, click that notification bell, and let's go ahead and jump right back into it. So before we get into the Xenosaga stuff, I do want to mention that the big birthday stream will be around 1 p.m. PT, 4 p.m. ET. That is April 18th. I'm having a big birthday stream, and this one's going to be different from the ones that I've had in the past, because we're not only going to have gaming topics, but we're also going to have a look back at 16 years of me creating content. We're going to have user submissions for me to react to them for short clips. We're going to have user call-ins for discussion or for debate. We're also going to have guest blocks for gaming discussions as well. Got some people coming on, new OJ's Bizarre Adventure story time, and gameplay Pokemon Champions. I'm going to be playing against some of the users out there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, this Saturday around 1 p.m. PT, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Look out, I'll have posts on the community page in addition to the scheduled posts. So you will be able to see it in your feed once I schedule the live stream. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate for supporting PlayerEssence all this time. And let's jump right into the Xenosaga news, because we've got some updates here when it comes to Xenosaga, and we've got to talk about it. So Bandai Namco has revealed that they will be releasing Xenosaga Pied Piper, a mobile game over on Switch and PC. So let's get into this big announcement here and what this could mean for the future. So we are pleased to announce that various feature phone titles previously released by Bandai Namco Games, now Bandai Namco Entertainment, will be available in the G-Mode archives. It's been several years since G-Mode received requests from fans for a reissue. We are finally able to deliver it to you. We plan to release a series of titles, starting with Xenosaga Pied Piper. So that's the little quote there that's got people thinking a series of titles. So is it all just the mobile games, or could it be more when it comes to Xenosaga? Now, Bandai Namco continues on here. In recent years, we have been fortunate to have more opportunities for everyone to play titles that are now more difficult to play on feature phones or in arcades or current generation consoles. We will continue to work hard every day to ensure that everyone can enjoy our games. Whether you played the game back then or are playing it for the first time, we hope that through G-Mode archives, you can discover new games, reminisce about the past, share your excitement with friends, and enjoy yourself in your own way. We sincerely hope that you will continue to support our titles in the future. This is the thing that was sent out. Obviously, it's a press release here. Now, some people have brought up that, okay, well, hold the brakes here. That doesn't mean Xenosaga 1, Xenosaga 2, Xenosaga 3, all of these games are coming over. It just means that they're going to be potentially doing the G-Mode series of mobile games and harder to play games, and that was never localized too. I don't think the G-Mode series from the mobile phones was ever localized, so we have to see if they're even going to do that. But I do think that this could lead to more Xenosaga. If this is successful, if there's good fan reaction, if people cover it, this is something that people have been asking for years now, for almost a decade now, decades at this point. Please bring over these obscure Xenosaga games to current platforms. Bring them over so people have a chance to play them. Xenosaga 1, 2, and 3 have been stuck on the PlayStation 2 and to a degree, I guess, the DS with the Xenosaga game on there for a decade plus now. Now, back in 2019 or so, I know Mr. Hadara, who's no longer at Bandai Namco, stated that they did look into Xenosaga 1, 2, and 3 coming over to current platforms, the Nintendo Switch or PlayStation, Xbox, whatever the case is, PC, and they said that it wasn't going to be worth it. The value proposition, or more like the profitability of the game, just wasn't going to be there for them. What it would cost to restore them, how many people they would need, what would go on. But now with new technology, now with updates, now with different stuff, Bandai Namco seems to be able to get that done, especially if they're going to be doing mobile titles and how those games worked and everything. If they can get that going, they can absolutely get Xenosaga on the PlayStation 2 going as well. Now, of course, Xenosaga on PS2 would take a lot more time and dedication, probably considering the amount of games and the size of those games. Those games are behemoths, some of them even 2-disc PS2 games. So I do think that that would take some time, but it's well worth the effort in my opinion. I think that it would be super cool if they were able to bring those over, because they're still really good games. Now, are they better than Xenoblade? No, I don't think that they're better than Xenoblade. Xenoblade, I think, is in another tier in itself, but they're still important puzzle pieces and blocks to the Xenoblade saga. If you played Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed, you know everything that I'm talking about here. People that have deep lore and history, Xenosaga is incredibly important to that. So it would be great if they were able to bring over Xenosaga and sell that on the Nintendo Switch 1, Nintendo Switch 2. I think people would absolutely buy it, especially Xenoblade fans. So let's hope that the quote, "We plan to release a series of titles starting with Xenosaga Pied Piper." I hope that means series as in also the G-Mode stuff. That's cool. But in addition to that, the Xenosaga games 1, 2, and 3 coming over to modern platforms as well. So what do you guys think about this? You can let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so just like Xenosaga, we got to talk about another classic franchise potentially coming back in the modern age, and there's been rumors to support this, and that is Chrono Trigger. Let's talk about this, because in Japan, some Chrono Trigger form-ism figures have been spotted at the official pop-up store, and they actually look really good. And of course, you know what that is going to lead to: speculation about a remake. So these new fully painted Chrono Trigger form-ism figures have been spotted out there by fans at the Square Enix pop-up store. Now, these things are actually super detailed and based off of that original art that you saw back in the day. Chrono's smiling like this. You have Princess Nadia, or Marley, however you think her name is. You have her with their crossbow, the chain, the pants, like everything is all meticulously crafted and looks awesome. It captures the spirit of Chrono Trigger, Akira Toriyama, and what they were trying to do with the character designs. And of course, there's been plenty of rumors about Chrono Trigger, and if we can see this franchise coming back in some type of way, shape, and form. I've reported numerous times about Square Enix thinking about or potentially bringing back Chrono Trigger. There's been some rumors out there, and I do think that eventually it will happen. Now, I'm not sure if there's a direct correlation with this, as Chrono Trigger anniversaries have came by and have went, and we've gotten nothing. But I do think that Square Enix is planning for something Chrono Trigger. I think that the biggest problem for Square Enix when it comes to Chrono Trigger is how they're going to actually get that done. What is the best for the game? Do you do a full remake of the game with modern graphics? Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the best plan, but some people would probably want that. Do you do an HD 2D remake of the game? That has had huge success. Games like Octopath Traveler, Live Alive, Triangle Strategy, those have all been great. You have the Adventures of Elliot that's coming up that looks awesome, and Octopath Traveler 0 that launched to great success as well. That's a tried and true art style tested at this point that works and gets people interested right away if they like that classic style. Now, if you're trying to get more of the modern crowd, then I'm not sure if HD 2D is going to work for Chrono Trigger. So I think it's been an eternal battle between, do we make it a classic style? Do we make it a modern style? How much money do we spend on it? How do we put together something that's already so perfectly put together to where I think it's actually caused them to have paralysis on what they should do? They put it out on PC. It was a terrible PC port at first. It was from the mobile version of the game. They spruced it up, made it better, added updates, and it's significantly better now at this point and plays great, plays and looks great when it comes to the PC version. But that was years ago, and they never ported over that PC version to modern consoles as everybody was expecting them to do, and they never did it. So that's why I think there's some paralysis here. Do they want to go the HD 2D route? Do they want to just go the release route on systems with that same PC version? I don't think they know exactly what they wanted to do in the past, but I think now at this point, with these models and with some of the rumors that we've gotten before, I think Square Enix has nailed down internally what they want to do with this game, and if it's not already in development, it will be in development, or they've already been planning something with it. Now, Chrono Trigger, it is a classic, but it's not like it's a sales beast or anything like that. It's not a no-brainer when it comes to how you go about this franchise, but I do think that never having anything really when it comes to consoles since the PlayStation 3 and the PS Vita, I think that was the last time that we got a release for the game when it comes to like a digital download. That to me is a bit ridiculous. Like, I think that they absolutely should have done something since then with this franchise or with this game. I mean, they've done stuff with the Chrono franchise. We had Chrono Cross remastered, and that was okay. But we're talking about Chrono Trigger itself. So something needs to be done. But I think that Chrono Trigger is one of those franchises that when they finally kind of nail down what they want to do, and I think that taking all of this time is going to eventually lead to something great. So I'm hoping that these figures, and I'm hoping that Square Enix has been planning something with the new leadership and kind of what they want to do. The success of HD 2D or the success of other remakes and remasters that they've had will propel them to make the right decisions when it comes to Chrono Trigger. Now, I personally would be up for whatever at this point. It's been so long. Chrono Trigger is my favorite game of all time. So for me, I just want something that respects the original, but also adds some cool stuff to it, because I've already played and beat the game so many times at this point. So for me, I would like Chrono Trigger. If they can bring it back in HD 2D with some extra content, I'd be fine with that. If they wanted to remake it and kind of do like a Trials of Mana type situation, I'd be cautious, but at the same time, I think that that can be done too, because Trials of Mana was also good. So we'll see what they end up doing. I'm more leaning towards HD 2D with extra content, but we don't know what Square Enix is planning at this point. So what do you guys think about these Chrono Trigger figures and the potential of Chrono Trigger coming back? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, moving on to the next topic here. We're going to be discussing Granblue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok, the open beta test. Let's get into this here. So publisher Cygames and developer Xenosaga will host an open beta test for Granblue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok from April 24th to the 27th. The companies have announced. Now, here's a bit more details about this open beta, platforms and everything here. So this beta is intended to let players experience the new summon mechanic while helping us verify network performance, game functionality, and identify and resolve in-game issues prior to launch. We've also prepared a short survey for all participants. Please take a moment to share your thoughts after playing. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. As the game's development is still in progress, its content may differ from the retail version. During the open beta test, you may encounter bugs, connection issues, freezing, or crashing. Thank you for bearing with us. Here's how to participate. The beta is open to all players on supported platforms. Simply download the game from your respective platform store and launch the game once the beta begins. You have the PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation 4, and PC via Steam. The PS4 still back at it here. Now, preloading begins on April 23rd, 2026 at 7 a.m. UTC. Open beta begins on April 24th, 2026 at 7 a.m. UTC. Now, if you already have the closed beta application installed, you can participate by installing the open beta update. Now, the Nintendo Switch Online membership is required to participate on the Nintendo Switch 2. A PlayStation Plus subscription is not required to participate on PS5 or PlayStation 4. The Steam version requires the installation of the Steam client. Now, here's the playable content as well. You have the tutorial mode and you have quest mode, and there are 4 available. Now, there are some other details with that. You guys can check those out. Now, the new feature is the summons feature. Now, summons allow players to call upon a multitude of mighty powers to change the tide of battle, and now they're yours to wield in the open beta. Now, using the summons, first equip summons from the main menu to use them in battle. Then, while questing, use link attacks to skybound arts to fill the summon gauge, which is shared by the whole party. Once filled, call your summon to wreak devastation with your favorite civilian, monsters, or primal allies. So pretty cool stuff there, man. I like all of this. You have the primal burst. You have all these different cool things that are happening. You got a bunch of playable characters here as well. Local wireless play will be available on the Nintendo Switch 2 only in this open beta, so also keep that in mind. But this does not support game share, just the local, and it needs to be downloaded on both systems. For me, at least at this point, I think that the only issue that I have when it comes to this is the 30 FPS on the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, it's not complete, and it's not the final retail version, and you can give them feedback. So we'll see if they've improved that, because the last one was 30 FPS. Let's see if we get a 60 FPS bump here. I'm not confident that it will be, but to me, it shouldn't be at 30 FPS. I think the Switch 2 has plenty, especially because the PlayStation 4 version, that one's at 30 FPS. They have DLSS, they have other ways to kind of get that going. There should absolutely be a performance mode, in my opinion, so I'm hoping that they get that going. We saw Fallout 4, that's also a PlayStation 4, Xbox One game. They were able to get that game as an open world title to run at 60 FPS and even 40 FPS plus 30 FPS on the Nintendo Switch 2, so I do feel that they should be able to at least get us a 40 FPS mode or get us some various performance levels. Now, it is a beta. We don't have the final release. The final release is later, I think this July. Yeah, July 9th, the game is launching with this extra content and all of that. So I'm hoping by then we at least have some performance modes, and it's better than what we saw in the last beta. But I will be checking this one out. I did miss the last one, so I will be playing this myself and judging it when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 version. So what do you guys think about all the different topics here? I know it was a lot to discuss. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch 2 RPG content and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.